Hi there. I've been away for 3 days and it was the most chaotic, busiest days I've ever had. So basically, I joined a Model United Nation in my own city, which is MUN or Moon, as you may call it. And this is from Model United Nation 2024. And I received this, which is a certificate of participation. And I represent the country, the United States of America, which is a really big country. And I felt like I had this really big responsibility. But since it's my first MUN ever, I think that it does not really matter the prizes, but what matters the most is my experiences and what I have learned throughout this entire journey. So I'm going to show you how I really felt. I'm not going to tell you that I had a lot of experiences since it's my first MUN. And I think that I'm just going to tell you how I felt and why you guys should all join MUN since it's cool. For those of you who already know what is MUN, I think it's fine. You can still watch this video to maybe hear me jabbing about my experience and what I have learned. For those of you who don't know, then yeah, this video is just for you. So basically, here is my placard, which is really nice. And so for this specific MUN, we have many committees, 2 committees. The first committee is the United Nations Security Council, and the second committee is the United Nations Framework on Convention of Climate Change. I think that's how you say it. I don't really remember the exact name, but basically it's UNFCCC. So here it is, 2 committees, and UNFCCC is the committee in which I joined. I almost forgot telling you what exactly is MUN. So you already know what is United Nation, right? And Model United Nation is just a simulation of the United Nations meetings where you will represent a specific country and address a specific topic. So the topic that, like the main broad topic that we all discuss is promoting sustainable energy transition. So basically we have to find many solutions to address this topic, and which is really hard because we have to look at different policies in which it will suit all nations. If there's a policy in which it does not suit a specific country or many countries in general, then that solution will easily be debated upon. So before I tell you what happens, I'm just going to show you this. Isn't this cute? So basically those are all the messages I received. So I bet this is the thing that most of the people who participated in MUN were most looking forward to, since at the end of the last day, then all of the delegates, we call the person who participates in those MUN are delegates, will kind of like write some messages for the other delegates in their placard. So those are all the messages that I received, and they're so cute, in which I think this is a very beautiful memory I'll keep forever, especially when I represent this country. At first, I just thought I'm going to represent a country which is not very well known. But yeah, surprisingly, they gave me the US, which I have no idea why, but probably the US has a lot of responsibility, in which I think that because this is my first MUN, I learn a lot. So for the next MUN, I will know how to kind of like do research better. So basically this is all of the messages, and they're so cute. Yeah, this is what you will get. A lot of bonding from other people, especially people who are older than you and you will learn a lot from. And still, people are younger than you and you can still learn from them. So before like you join every single MUN, of course, you will have to write kind of like something. I have actually no word to call that, but basically it is like, oh yeah, a registration link. You have to kind of like registrate for the MUN and answer some question. So for example, they will require you to list down your achievements, or they will require you to write a couple of essays about a certain topic, and you will just give it to them. And they will just consider your form to see if you're suitable. If you're not, then probably you will get pushed to another committees, because oftentimes in MUN, there are lots of committees. And in my committee, it's English. If you want to participate in English, you can also join a committee which use Vietnamese. And if it passed, then they will consider the country, because I think like if your form is excellent, very good, then you'll get a good country, a powerful country, which means a lot of responsibility. If your form is okay, average, then you'll get a normal country, like Costa Rica or some other countries, which is not very well known. So that is the form, the first step. And I think after that, when you join, you have to write something called a position paper, in which it is like a paper addresses the country's stance on a matter and what solution, what does the country want from other countries, and what are the difficulties that that country faces, etc. And that is the position paper. And I think like there will be an award for the best position paper, which it's very honorable. And because I think that it depends on the type of MUN you participate, because there are some MUN which only last for 2 days. I think that's like the minimum. But in my MUN in my city, which is Haiphong Model United Nation, it lasts for 3 days, which requires a lot of research. I think like MUN is a field in which you have to do lots of research. You have to have a lot of knowledge, and in which you are required to research something you have never thought of before. So before this, actually, I joined a lot of debate competition. And let's just say that MUN is not like debate, even though we do debate on policy given by several countries. But I think like MUN, what they focuses on is that they focus on policy and solutions. While for debates, they just like debate on some kind of topic. So it can be like policy, it can be a lot of things in general, and we don't really have to give a real specific detailed solution. But in here, they give a lot of solution and policies, in which sometimes I think it's kind of hard to find a suitable solution, because if you think of one, it's even if it's good, but we're unable to describe it and say in detail how exactly are we going to implement such issues or such solutions, then it will be really hard for other countries to vote for you, because at the end of this, you'll have to write something called a DR, which is a draft resolution. And this draft resolution, like it has to be, I think like a lot of pages, 10 pages perhaps. And you can, of course, you'll not write individually, because it's not going to be a very strong draft resolution. You can create a blog where some countries, they agree with each other on certain issues and they have the same perspective. Then you can write a draft resolution, and that has to be voted, either pass or fail. And if it passed, then yay, awesome. If it failed, then yeah, it's not really going to be a problem. But I think you should work on more on how to persuade other countries, because sometimes it's really hard to persuade powerful countries. And I felt like as I represent the US, I have to try to be more powerful, because I haven't used my knowledge to the full potential. But overall, I think this MUN is really awesome, in which I've joined, because yeah, I forgot to mention, in a committee, there'll be like 2 chairs, and they'll be the one who direct the entire committee. And you will have to actually, because there will be prizes in MUN, like honorable mention or excellent delegate or the best delegate. So if you actually know how to think of a lot of policies and you understand the issue well, then yeah, you could try to be the best delegate if possible. But I think that overall, this MUN taught me a lot. It taught me how to do effective research without actually searching the internet, because throughout the committee, throughout the kind of like the meeting, or in term we call it the moderated caucus, the meeting, we cannot use our electronic devices, which means that we have to use our brain, rack it, and then use it to the full potential to think of actual policies that will work. Because you cannot just say that countries will work together, there'll be a fund, and there'll be taxes. That's kind of vague. And I think that I need to improve more on how I create solutions. But overall, the HPMUN is actually excellent. It is really professional, very traditional, and the knowledge, and they definitely prepare well. Because I think that the field in which they're talking about is really awesome, and especially kind of like the people there are really friendly. So I think the takeaway here is that when you entered MUN, traditional ones, because I think like there are many types of MUN. Mostly MUN will last for 2 days. If it only lasts for 1 day, I think it's really odd because I do see there are some Model United Nation that only lasts for 1 day, which is not enough. So make sure you do your research when you enter some Model United Nation in your specific regions or in other regions. And the best thing is that you can make lots of friends and you can learn a lot of experiences and learn lots of knowledges, especially fields you have never thought about. Like, I've never actually thought about all of this before, but after joining it, I think like my perspective and the way that I view issue is much more effectively. Because, for example, when you think of a solution, you must think about the kind of like the feasibility, the practicability, whether it's practical for every single country or is it only practical in your own country, because you cannot just think about your own country. It will not benefit anything. The point of a Model United Nation is to think of a solution that will suit all countries. So depend on the topic you're given, specifically the topic that I'm given and my other delegates are given is sustainable energy transition. So we must think of solution that will effectively like have the transition of sustainable energy. So yeah, I think it's really cool. And I hope that I will join more to show you guys how I felt. And that's basically it for today's video. I'll see you next time. Oh, I forgot to show you this. I got this one, which is really cute. This is the keychain of the symbol of the HPMUN moon 2024. Yeah, so cute. Okay, see ya.